Some days are just going to suck. I don't know what to tell you. And it doesn't matter which path. There is no right way to do this. There are so many paths to lead you back home. And that home is to self. To the part of you that is source. That is love. That is divinity. That holds the essence for why you chose to come here. There's no right or wrong way, and it doesn't matter which path you choose. And for some of you, it'll be an amalgamation of different paths, and that's okay. But there is nothing that can prevent you having tough times. The reason why we're here, this thing called life, the purpose of it is the same for all of us, evolution. It's all about evolution. And evolution cannot happen in the absence of change. And change holds the essence of chaos and contrast. And contrast, how we deal with that contrast, and the process through which we are moving within that contrast, and the aspects of self and the dimensions that make up this life process, and the different areas and the different layers and the different seasons, all of it. The contrast will present in different ways. Sometimes life's gonna suck. That doesn't mean that you're wrong, that you're getting it wrong. In some cases, it just means that whatever it is that is in the basket of tools that you've chosen to make use of, either you're not using those tools or they're not working for you, they're not serving you at this particular juncture of your journey and process. Sometimes life's gonna suck, even when you do all the right things. Often the reason why we go on a journey to discover the right path, to determine the right path, is to hopefully stay in the light long enough so that the shadows and the darkness and the storms don't affect us. But that is foolish, because it is always going to. Part of evolution, an important factor is that growth, is the duality that we've come here to experience. And so the only thing that you can ever do is to acquire, is to allow yourself to embark on the journeys, on the different paths, to familiarize yourself with, to remember and to recall the medicines, the tools, the techniques, the wisdom, and how to use it and how to implement it in the best ways possible to support yourself, not only on the good days, particularly through the dark times. Acquiring knowledge, building processes, exercises, practices, spiritual practices, religious practices, whatever they may be for you, whatever you choose, is very simply so that you can equip yourself to the best of your ability to hold all that you are, and that includes those who are part of your world as an extension of you. That includes your karmic soulmates, okay? Those who test you, trigger you, challenge you. To hold all that you are with as much grace and love until the storm passes. And this is not always an easy thing to do. Some of us, we struggle with that darkness. They bring up a lot of trauma. Some of us have PTSD. Some of us have complex PTSD. Some of us have anxiety. The momentum around these around the resistance, all these conditions that are at their core symbolic of resistance. in one area or another within our bodies or within our relationship with a certain aspect of ourselves. And it can trigger great darkness. For me, mental health, emotional health, excessive trauma, learning to hold myself and to understand that I'm going to respond to a bad day, sometimes irrationally, more severely. My nervous system is going to have a explosive, irrational response to what some people are just going to call a bad day. For me, it's going to make me question being here. And that doesn't have to make sense to anyone else. Especially those of you who are very, very sensitive. Those of you who have had challenging journeys here to activate you into a fuller awareness of what's happening to you. Some days you're not going to have it all together, and those are the days. It's especially on those days that you want to remember that maybe all of the tools and the processes and the beliefs and the positive thinking just has no access to you there. That you're the only one that has access to you there in that space of perceived darkness. And that even if you brought all of those tools with you and you draw on all of them, that they just won't be enough, because all your inner child or that woman or that male, that inner masculine or inner feminine inside of you that might be feeling like they're not good enough, might be feeling bruised, might be feeling insecure, might be feeling a sense of lack of worth, whatever, might be feeling wounded. Maybe all that part of you needs is to be held by you. This is a very specific message for people who will get this. Because at the end of the day, all of the external things, they're just to add value. They're just cherries on top of the cake. What it all boils down to is just you and you. And some days none of this is going to make sense to you, and it's particularly on those days that it doesn't matter, that the only thing that matters is that you are willing to come back home to self, to sit in that uncomfortable space, in that darkness, and hold every part of you that is willing to show its head, to reveal itself to you. And it's going to be uncomfortable. But the sun does always come out. And maybe in those moments we don't have to answer those questions. Is it worth staying here? Are things ever going to get better? Am I doing something wrong? Because I can guarantee that when you find yourself in the place that I'm describing, you will be over there with a whole lot of questions. And trying to answer them will just dig you deeper and deeper into question marks, massive question marks that weigh heavy on your shoulders. And surrendering to those questions and being willing not to have the answers, but simply to hold. Just to hold you. Just until it passes. And it does. It always does. Long as it needs to, for as long as you need to, but eventually, whether it passes or not is irrelevant, so long as you are there, showing up for you, holding yourself in your imperfection, in that darkness, with all those questions. That is when you are enough.